and welcome to the 80sist, the podcast that uses your vote to determine the most totally 80s song ever to blare from those muddy speakers in that Boardman, Ohio Pizza Hut jukebox. Well, in Cleveland, Ohio, guess what? It's me, Keith Barsteller. And as always, joining me from Seattle, Washington, it is the creator of the 80sist. A spectacular human being, but an even better podcast host, perhaps. It's Joe Walk, everybody! Hey, Joe!
Hey, Keith. Boy, am I excited for today's show.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm such a huge Will Smith fan.
Will Smith?
Yeah, getting jiggy with it. Summertime, the whole Big Willie Style album.
Joe, you don't have to do this.
Do what?
The whole Joe is confused by something premise, man. I know what's really happening.
What do you mean? I mean, Men in Black was...
Joe, you're hurting.
Hurting?
Yeah, dude. You're sad that we've arrived at the last episode of round one, and it's causing you to think about endings and mortality. How finite our time on this planet really is.
No, man.
You don't have to shut your emotions out, man.
What are you trying to...
It's not your fault, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
No, you don't. It's not your fault.
Don't fuck with me.
It's not your fault.
Don't fuck with me, all right? Don't fuck with me, Keith, not you!
It's not your fault.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. Oh, God.
It's going to be okay, pal. There's going to be shows for round two. We'll get by. We'll get through this together.
All right, I'll power through.
Wow. A powerful, stirring open, man.
Did you get that?
That was Good Will Hunting, obviously.
All right,
right?
There we go. All right.
I was Robin Williams. Sure. You were Will Hunting. Yeah. Don't fuck with me, Sean. Not you. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. Well, with that amount of drama and acting talent, we welcome you back to the 80sist.
Welcome back.
Today, folks, it's our 37th show of Side B, and in it, we're going to discuss the 8th and ultimate, if you will, matchup in the Foreigners.
Still without Foreigner.
Thank you, Joseph. Region, and today, it's going to be an interesting one. I am still torn over this one. You might already know which way you're going. I don't.
Nope.
This is going to be number 2 seed Wild Wild West by the Escape Club.
Not Will Smith.
Not Will Smith. Wild Wild West. Versus 15 seed. And I think that's an underrated seed for this song. But again, math does what it does. Breakout by Swing Out Sister. And so let's just stack these two up, Joe, in the tail of the tape. Fight!
2 songs enter. 1 song leaves.
It's the tail of the tape. He's out!
All right, number 2 seed Wild Wild West is from the album Wild Wild West by the British pop rock band The Escape Club. It was released as a single in the summer of 1988. It reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 during a 16-week stay in the top 40. The Escape Club is the only British artist to have a number 1 hit in the U.S. while never charting in the UK.
That is wild. That it went number 1 here and nothing there, which apparently, at least up to that point, or at least up to the data I found, is the only time that's happened. So
crazy, man.
Meanwhile, in this corner, 15 seed Breakout is from the album It's Better to Travel by British pop group Swing Out Sister. It was released as a single September 29th of 1986. And it reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 a full year later in November of 1987. Very weird that it took that long. It also
slow burn.
Yeah, very slow burn. It also hit number 1 on the adult contemporary charts. Now, here's where even though they weren't as big a hit as Wild Wild West, Breakout was nominated for Best Pop Vocal Performance by a Duo or Group at the 30th Annual Grammy Awards in 88. Keep in mind, released in 86, nominated for a Grammy in 1988. But it lost to I've Had the Time of My Life. So,
Well, that was a great quality song.
And Swing Out Sister was also nominated for Best New Artist at those same Grammy Awards, but lost to Jody Watley. So 2 Grammy noms, one for this song and one kind of on the strength of this song.
Denied.
So, pretty good pedigree for a 15 seed. But I mean, our 16 was, a very, very, very good song. So the numbers, do what you will with the numbers. So that's what they look like on paper. But what do they sound like, Joe? Well, I think we know, but let's take a listen. We're going to keep going. That's where I'm going to cut it off, but it just keeps going in a way that you'll enjoy if I let it keep going. And now we're going to drop right into Breakout. There's a little piece of Breakout, and now you've heard them back to back. I've got thoughts. Let's find out where these two came from first, though. And we'll do that. Joe, did you think the assignment was 1880s?
Keith, I have to seriously question your level of taste here.
All right.
Okay. Number 2, Wild Wild West comes in with 34 points. I had it ranked at number 27. Keith, you had it ranked at number 7. This one cracked your top 10.
Yeah.
So, joint responsibility, but
slight
leaning toward you.
Yeah, slight lean. You got it in your top 30, though, so that's the top half of your 64. I mean, that's pretty big. And just to point out, this is one of the 4 songs that you have ranked in this one. Whereas Breakout, coming in with 91 points, it's a 65 from Joe, a 26 from me. This one becomes 100% my responsibility. So, so there you go. That's how they got here. Now that they're here, though, do you like these songs? Let's start, Joe, with you and Wild Wild West.
Hell yes. I like this song a lot. How about you?
I'm a big fan of it. I put it super high. It's one of those songs, you don't hear it that often. I'm learning, because I heard it a lot this week, getting ready for this episode, that it's probably better that I don't hear it all the time, I think. But I came into this show really, really a high amount of I wouldn't say it's a love, but it's almost like a novelty song to me. We'll get to that later. But I do like it a lot, although it wanes with more listens.
What about Breakout?
Breakout, for me, I gotta admit, I love Breakout. I really, really enjoy it. What about you?
Yeah, I like it quite a bit.
So there you go. All right, so no hate for either of these songs.
Not even a little bit.
And let's jump right down to it then. We'll start with the top favorite seed, number 2, Wild Wild West, Joe. And we're talking about Escape Club here, and they are not quite a one-hit wonder. They had a song called I'll Be There, and I wonder if you've heard this one or not. But
let's give it a minute.
I'll jump to something. It's a very sentimental song sung by a dead person.
Yeah, no, do not know that. Did you know this one?
I did know this one, yeah. It's very, here's the line. I may have died, but I've gone nowhere. Just think of me and I'll be there. Kind of a downer.
Yeah. Written to be played at people's funerals.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, it was a relatively big hit for them. Cracked the top 40. So that's one other song of theirs that I knew of.
For the record, please don't have that played at my funeral.
Right, don't worry. I will be playing Whitesnake, Here I Go Again at your funeral. Wait, that wasn't you that asked me to do that.
No. Actually, let's go ahead and slate in Yakety Sax.
I was gonna say if I somehow outlive you, I would definitely know to go through the They Might Be Giants catalog at your funeral.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they have a real poignant kind of song for a funeral, but we can discuss that, I guess.
Yeah.
Put it in your will. Anyway.
All right, I will do that.
What do you got about Wild Wild West?
Well, first off, that I have, for my entire life, been fucking up the name of the band. Mrs. Carter would be upset because it is The Escape Club.
The Escape Club.
I have perpetually said Escape Club.
I think I even wrote in the script a couple places just Escape Club. And it is
But you also wrote it as
Club.
The once or twice.
Yeah, so I'm very inconsistent with it. Again, Mrs. C, I'm sorry if you're out there listening, which you definitely can be because you are alive.
The last we heard.
The odds of her getting her shit together with a smartphone and a podcast app and wanting to listen to an 80s music podcast, is more unlikely than her still being alive.
I think the two of us having been so outstanding over her long teaching career that we're the ones that she would want to listen to, I think also very doubtful.
I don't know. I'd put myself in her top 10.
All right.
She gave me an autographed book when she retired.
Nice.
Like she wrote out a page.
Give me shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Thanks, Mrs. Carter.
All right.
Jesus.
But,
all right.
Back to the Escape Club. What have you got?
The Escape Club. So I did not know that funeral song you played.
Yes.
I also didn't realize that they did, and I guess I should have. They did a cover of the Doors' 20th Century Fox that apparently appeared on the Wonder Years because it was on an album of Wonder Years soundtrack songs.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know. I can't imagine it's all that good.
I don't appear to have access to that one.
Probably because no one needs to hear it.
But, maybe with some... I don't see it in this long list, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I did not realize that either, obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to write out the word 20th in the title.
Maybe not.
So that's an interesting... I don't remember that from the Wonder Years, but I haven't seen the Wonder Years in a long time.
Here's the thing. I didn't watch the Wonder Years.
Well, that seems like a right in your wheelhouse type of a show.
No, sir.
Huh.
Did not pay attention to it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have like anything against Fred Savage or anything. I just never watched it.
It wasn't your thing. All right.
No.
So anyway, they did a Wonder Years cover. That's an interesting thing. Now, one of your favorite artists did a song that you and I both, and maybe some music critics, noticed that the Escape Club seemed to be either inspired by or ripping off.
Right, and that would be the legendary Elvis Costello and his song "Pump It Up."
Now that one I do have. And there's some things that are similar about this, right? It's got a drum beat.
You can hear it right off the bat, I think.
It's got a drum beat bass line start. The vocals are a similar tone, lyrical pace, and then there's also non sequiturs kind of in the lyrics.
That kind of rhythm is the same.
Gimme Wild West, gimme safe sex, gimme love, gimme time to live it up. Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
That really does fit right in there.
Yeah. So there is some similarities to it. It's not like a direct tear out like some songs we've heard, right?
Right.
But it's a spiritual successor at the least, if not if not a ripoff. Like when you hear those back to back, and you're like, the beat's not exactly the same, but it's like
it's close.
It's bass and drums, like forward, as you might say, and then you come in with that.
47 dead beats living in a back street, north, east, west, south, all in the same house, sitting in the back.
So maybe this is why we liked Wild Wild West. We were predisposed.
It's possible.
Yeah, we were predisposed to it by already liking Pump It Up, maybe. It's possible, so.
I'd say it's a good thing that Elvis Costello is not terribly litigious.
You think he could have gotten some money off of this?
I mean,
yeah.
Who knows?
Well, this song appears to have a couple of things that you like to hear in an 80s song, right? Kind of that nuclear war fear mongering, maybe not mongering, but at least a recognition of nuclear war kind of being in everybody's minds, right?
That paranoia is in there, definitely.
There's a song, a lyric, right, about you got to live it up, Ronnie's got a new gun.
Yeah, which is a direct reference to Reagan, of course.
Direct reference to Reagan having nukes.
Yeah.
And there's also in here a very timely discussion of the AIDS crisis that was happening in America around
Yeah,
the time.
gimme safe sex.
Yeah, gimme Wild West, gimme safe sex, gimme love. Yeah.
Yep.
Also very Reagan era, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this would have been like, the time when we were in our mid-teens when people we knew might be having sex. Not us, I mean, but people
Definitely not us.
That were in our school at the time, definitely having sex at this time.
I think by the time this song had come out, 88, summer of 88. So I at least had kissed a couple of girls at that point, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, sure. Well, let's count that then.
I mean, I was not practicing any kind of safeness yet because there was nothing going on beyond that.
Right.
So.
Well, that's the safest kind of sex.
That is the safest.
Not having it at all.
Abstention is the safest it gets.
So we were taking the Escape Club's advice.
Yeah, we really were. So
yeah.
So this song has got all that stuff in it. And then I've got a needle drop at 2:24 that we can jump on and see.
I think I know what this is going to be.
You think you know what this is going to be? Let me come in a little
Pretty
early.
sure.
There's a little breakdown, and then there's this vocal stylings of this guy that pop up.
Yep.
So that was a breakdown that I always thought was interesting. I never understood any of the words except Escape Club to Rock It Tonight or something. And I heard the word outlaw early on in there. But now I know that the words are, this one's called The Outlaw. Wow, they want me. Ride the rhythm like me riding a bike. Shine on me. Murder me chatter when me chat on the mic. Shorties thought this could keep them rocking till the broad daylight. Here comes Escape Club to rock it all night. So I never knew pretty much 90% of those words.
Right.
I knew the rhythm of them and the kind of the vowel sounds that were coming out. And I thought, is some of that in Spanish? But it was not.
Now, do we know, did anyone from the Escape Club claim to have invented rap?
I think we're safe on this one that they
Okay.
did not claim to be the inventors of rap, unlike our previous Tapow lady who was a little bit maybe mentally delusional.
Yeah.
I also have always liked the lyric heading to the 90s, living in the 80s.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And then screaming in the back room, waiting for the big boom, which I assume was another reference to
Nuclear paranoia.
paranoia. And then give me Wild West, give me safe sex, give me love, give me time to live it up, right?
Wild West, give me safe sex, give me love, give me time to live it up.
Like time before the impending nuclear holocaust, which apparently...
Or my death from AIDS.
Or death from AIDS, either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, heading for the 90s. Now, of course, you know my love for definite endings in a song. So I'm going to give this one a +2 for this one.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Wild West.
Yeah, I mean, that's
There
a
you go.
solid definite ending with the guns
Oh, yeah.
and the yow, Wild West. Pew!
There is no doubt that the song ends right there.
It ends. It's over.
Yeah. No doubt.
So anyway, did you see the video? Tell our listeners about the video because it's really hard for me to describe.
So, first I want to say the video was banned in Great Britain.
Why?
Why? I don't know. They thought it sucked. I'm not sure.
I mean, look,
But-
I'll be honest. I think the video sucks for a song that I like this much. The video fucking blows, dude.
Yeah.
But why? So it sucks. That's no reason to ban it, though, right? Like,
Maybe, I don't know. So the whole thing is it's not black. It's not shot in black and white, but it's very pale, very washed out kind of colors.
yes, right. I can't think of the word, but yes, it's almost black and white.
Right. Oh, damn it.
Desaturated.
Desaturated. Thank you.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. And it's them performing on a stage, and like one dude's in his bare feet, and but the big thing is that they have they you know how if you are feel like doing a mirror shot with your phone, right?
Yep.
And you can make it so that you have one half of your body doubled, basically.
Yeah,
and,
like you can symmetrically, you can see what it'd be like if you had a perfectly symmetrical face, for instance.
Right, and then if you don't have it right in the center, then it looks weird, like your face looks smushed, or you can even disappear the center of your body entirely and just be a disembodied arm. Well, this video features that idea,
that technology, like 35 years early or something. Yeah.
And it features it a lot. They basically have disembodied arms and legs.
Yeah.
Playing instruments, groping the lead singer like multiple times, like
dancing,
running a disembodied hand up his thigh.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, and it's unpleasant
there's like
to look at.
two legs that meet up, but not in a crotch, just like just two legs, and they're just dancing around, and they're connected in that weird mirrored way.
Right.
So there's no body. It's just these 2 feet with the legs attached in the center. And I just don't get it. Like you're saying, it's not an attractive thing to look at.
No. So why?
It's not funny. It's not.
No.
It doesn't I don't get what it's going for. I also don't see why you would ban it, but I don't know.
I don't see why you would ban it, but but it's stupid.
It generally really, really sucks, and it started making me think less of this song, which is unfortunate because it's kind of. I guess it's like I don't know, man. I guess it's like similar to you really like a book, and then you see the movie, and the movie sucks. Well, you really like this song, and then the video just blows, and it kind of brings you. It's like, oh man, they could have done so much more with this.
Yeah.
Like they could have been in a nuke shelter and like had a Ronald Reagan impersonator and like
there you go,
give him AIDS or something. I mean, they
should have talked to you about this.
They could have done anything. It was the 80s, but
but no,
they did
disembodied arms and legs. Cool.
So I wonder, do you know? I guess we're gonna defer to Denny on this one. If this was a dance hit or not, this was danceable at Western Reserve dances.
Yeah,
probably. It came out after I was already out of there, but this seems like a danceable song. So I just wonder.
It does. It seems like one that might lend itself to an extended mix or a remix or whatever the hell.
A 12-inch. Yeah.
12-inch. Yeah.
Yeah. So there probably is like a longer mix somewhere of this, is my guess.
Probably.
But I wonder if it fell into the category of dance music that he would enjoy. I just don't know.
Sometimes it's a crapshoot, man.
It really is, yeah.
A crapshoot.
Oh, man. So that's, Wild Wild West. If we go back to the very start of it, though, like there's just a sound here. It's got those full drums and bass, and then listen to that.
47 dead beats living in a back street, northeast,
And then you do have that kind of Brit voice. It's not like the sophisticated one that we like so much, but that little that guitar riff right before it goes into the chorus. And there's plenty. One of the reasons I let it play past this first chorus, because it's so short, basically, is it gets into like some crazy. Let me jump ahead. It gets into that cool, like, well, first you get a lot of that horn synth, but then you get this. You got Ricochet's 80s guitar, synthesized horns.
It's got it all, man.
It's like a stew of 80s-ness there.
I put your flags in the air and march them up and down. You can live it up all over the town. And turn to the left, turn to the right. I don't care as long as she comes tonight.
Oh, maybe they banned it because it says as long as she comes tonight. Like, could they have banned it?
Oh, I just got that.
Yeah. Could it be the...
No, I'm kidding. I didn't just get that.
I mean, but that could be a reason for banning it. I don't know.
I suppose. But I mean, I don't think they banned the song. I think they just banned the video.
Just the video. Interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, tons of 80s sound to it.
Absolutely.
It feels to me like a song that can only exist in the inside of the 80s.
So, for me, right?
Yeah.
Lyrically, this song really does pin down a specific time. In the later 80s, when, you know, we like people of our age had been living with nuclear paranoia and AIDS paranoia, and just
this
kind
thing
of
nails them
wanted
both
to be
down.
done with the 80s. So we were living for the 90s.
And
It was like, just get the fuck past this stupid decade.
Yeah, that's a great observation. That is one of the things I think is the lyrics that make this feel so pinned to that time. And like,
Yeah.
I have I heard this song a lot that summer, and then going on into college, it was around quite a bit. And yeah, it just brings back that time for me as well. And I wasn't super paranoid about nuclear war, but I mean, how could you not be a mildly concerned living in that time with all of what was going on, right? So
Absolutely.
and so this completely time capsules that. And so that's just a point that we have to put in its column, you know, when we're
I
thinking
agree.
about. All right, do you have anything else about Wild Wild West?
I do not.
You don't want to talk
I'm
about...
ready to put this song behind me and move on.
Okay, great. Then we will now talk about the Challenger 15 seed Breakout by Swing Out Sister. I have one. They didn't really have another hit that I knew of.
Okay.
They did do a cover of Am I the Same Girl, which is a late 60s song. And it's got, if I let it play for a second, you'll recognize this riff. And so I don't know if that was a real big hit, but it's a good cover version of a classic there.
Absolutely.
So that's the only other kind of song that I knew of theirs. They might have had some bigger hits in the kind of the British circles, but in America, Breakout was kind of the beginning and end of their popularity with us. So
Right.
All right, what would you like to say about Breakout?
Well, you know, when I can find it, I kind of like to look at the critical reaction at the time.
Yeah.
So here we go. So Jerry Smith of Music Week magazine praised this song, described it as a bubbling, dynamic number with irresistible rhythm and power. melodic vocals backed by rousing horns and sweeping strings, and deemed it a potential hit. Similarly, Stuart Bailey of Record Mirror stated that the song is breezy, buoyant, and it's tasteful, called it a good record. In the same issue of the magazine, James Hamilton complimented as being rather pleasant and convincing jazz funk.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was
generally positive.
None of that praise was like it's too effusive.
Right. No one said these are the next
like,
Beatles, for instance.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, this is all right.
It's all right. We like that.
Yeah, I didn't read those things, but I said the song kind of has like a jazzy, sophisticated feel to me.
Right.
And that I really like this lady who is the lead singer is named Corinne Drury.
Right.
I really dig her vocals are very smooth and rich, I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
in some way they kind of remind me of Sade. Just in that smooth melodic delivery and like very understated, like, she doesn't sound like Cyndi Lauper, right? She has a very, or Madonna. She has
so weird because when you were saying she doesn't sound like, I knew where you were going. I was like, no, she doesn't sound like Cyndi Lauper, because it's that opposite of that kind of excited, high pitched kind of thing. It's
calm smooth and calm and lower, and like I'll break into a little of Breakout here. So I wanted to ask, is this the female equivalent of the British Second Invasion voice? Is this why I like it so much? I mean, she doesn't sound necessarily super British in here, but she does sound super cool to me. Like,
who do we have to compare it to? Like Samantha Fox?
Oh shit! Yeah, she's super subtle, right? But she does sound very British, but she doesn't sound classy British, does she?
No.
There's
a difference, because Corinne Drury would never be featured on page 6.
Probably not, although she was a beautiful lady. For sure.
but not in a page 6
she's not
kind of sense.
She's more classy than that, seemingly, right?
Right. She was, in fact, a fashion designer
in real life.
Prior to getting into music in real life, she was a fashion designer, and I read that she was a little bit, because like her work in fashion design was pretty stable and solid, and she felt like she was taking a big risk leaving it behind to go into music.
Absolutely, that's a huge risk. Do you know, was she ever a model or anything? Because she could have been one, in my opinion, one man's opinion. And in the video, she kind of, the video, she takes her real life, right? Which you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 2 little factoids here.
Oh, all right. Let's rip them off.
So first off, Swing Out Sister named themselves after an obscure musical from the 1940s.
Oh, wow.
And which I had never. It's British.
Even you don't know it?
No. I mean, dude, there were so many British movies in the 40s that I would have no idea.
Okay.
It's a whole industry that I don't know. But they named themselves this because it was the only name they could all agree on. They all agreed that they hated it.
Oh, shit.
So, because they didn't have one that they all liked, so they went with this one, which I thought was pretty funny.
That is kind of funny, yeah. Especially because it's 2 men and a woman that started the band. Currently, it's 1 man and 1 woman, but yeah.
Second little factoid. She wrote this.
Yes.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.
She wrote this song while recovering from a fractured skull that she received in an equestrian accident.
Wow. A woman of many talents. Equestrian.
Right?
Sports fashion design, musicality.
Yep.
She does it all. I mean, maybe not so good with the equestrian thing. She fractured her skull.
Well,
so
I mean,
what was
maybe that's
going
her.
on?
Maybe
Like,
that's the horse.
so she was like, was it like a Wizard of Oz thing? She was inspired by being like unconscious, and she wrote it in a dream or something.
Well, I know. I read also that this was one where they needed a song right away, and so they knocked this song out in 12 hours. They wrote this song super fast.
Wow.
Because they had to have a song for a record.
That's impressive.
And so, yeah. So we went up with this.
Okay. Well, they did a great job for a 12-hour type gig there with a head injury. Jesus.
Yeah.
So there is tons of synth throughout this song, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just hit start, and there it is, and it paints a nice kind of smooth landscape for this song to live in. Like,
Yeah.
and like they said, the one music guy said it was strings and horns. Well, it's string and horn synth, as we now know, because there's these three folks in the band, and none of them seem to. I mean, there is a real drummer,
Right.
and that guy, Martin Jackson, turns out looks a lot like me. Did you see that in the video?
He does. I absolutely see where that came from.
Similar body type, similar face shape, similar weight, similar hair line.
He could be your British cousin.
Similar nose, yeah.
Like Patty Duke. You guys
we
could
could be
have wacky
identical
adventures.
cousins. Yes.
That's it.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about the video now?
I do, yeah. So this one is fully in black and white.
Yeah. And it's a
unlike the
story,
last one, which
finally.
was just desaturated. And yeah, so there's a fashion designer. Where'd they get that from? Who is working on a collection with her two zany assistants.
Who are the other two band members.
That's it. And they are having they're doing all kinds of goofy stuff. They're mugging, they're doing slapstick with the fabric rolls. There's a hula hoop sequence. They try on hats. At one point she walks down the runway in bare feet. The one thing is they seem to be having so much fun.
Yeah.
In this video.
That's like when the music critic that you read, I think, referred to this as buoyant, the song. Like, I get that it's a lighthearted video. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like weird mirrored body parts groping musicians.
No.
They're telling a
it's
story.
not Robert Smith dancing on a cliff with a ghost girl.
It is not that either. And that's not to disparage that song, but this video
not at all.
is like, yeah, you can tell they're having fun with it, which you should. You were minutes ago not famous, and now you get to make like a little tiny movie about your song and just have fun with it, right? And it's
Right.
The lyrics to this are it's a very positive kind of song, right? And it's always kind of had a positive message to it. And so I think all that kind of comes through, whether that's the people behind the message are also really positive. They're just having fun with it. And at the end of the video, she does her fashion show, and I guess breaks out.
That's it. It's a huge hit. Everyone loves it. And that's why we all wear clothes designed by Corinne Drury.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because the time has come to make or break. Move on. Don't hesitate. Break out.
The time has come to make or break. Move on, don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Break out.
So, you know, there's lyrics in here about don't leave your destiny to chance. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
You know, it's if you stop to listen to it, it was pretty positive.
Absolutely.
Pretty positive message there. I do have a couple of needle drops, Joe.
All right, let's hear them.
2:10. We've got like a little interlude with a little breakdown.
Break out.
Now, if you were the lead singer of T'Pow, you might think this were a rap.
Right.
Here comes the quote-unquote rap part right here.
Lay down the law, shout out for more, break out from chapter in day out, break out.
Oh, man. She rapped the hell out of that. So that was one thing I had. And then at 3:15-ish, a little bit later, we have another kind of like, almost sounds like she's improvising. But let's see.
Break out.
Little key change.
Shout out for more, break out from chapter in day out, you found break the leg, break out, break out, break out.
Yeah, so she puts in that lay down the law, shout out for more over top of the chorus, and
Right.
It gets crazy, and then they fade out. No definite ending. Sorry about that.
Damn it.
I know. So those are the couple needle drops I had, and I have a question for you, Joe.
Yeah.
Now, I read Corinne Drury, if that's how you say her name, in fact, loves and is influenced heavily by Northern Soul.
What?
And I'm left to ask the question, is this Northern Soul?
Dude, fucking, I don't know.
I mean, probably
What
not.
do I look like? Denny Mayer?
So, they do that remake of the 60s song. Is that Northern Soul? Or is that just being inspired by Northern Soul? I know you don't know the answer. I'm asking for Denny to let us know.
Okay, all right.
Because I don't know. But if it is Northern Soul, well, damn. That would be another point in its favor for its 80s-ness, right?
There you go. Yeah, I guess.
So I don't know. Joe, you got anything else to say about this before we have to figure out where we're voting on this?
I don't. I am I'm all spoke out on this guy.
All right. Well, then, Joe, I mean, there's a lot to say, a lot to decide on with this matchup. Two wildly different styles of songs, both of which you and I like. If you had to say which song you like more, can you say? Because they're so different, it's hard to compare them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, separating, the experience I had with Wild Wild West in the 80s from liking it.
Yeah.
I mean, probably if I had to listen to one of these songs on repeat for 5 days,
Yeah.
I'd probably choose Breakout.
Yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of the likability of it.
Right.
Listening to Wild Wild West over and over again is not like a good idea.
Yeah.
As I've found out in the past few days. Like,
Now, at the beginning, you kind of categorized it as a novelty song.
yes, it kind of, it kind of just feels weird with the sound effects and the kind of the interesting voice the guy is singing in, and like the lyrics, some of which are completely nonsensical, but some of which are extremely meaningful to us. So it's kind of like a mixed bag lyrically.
I can see that.
And yeah, it just seems more like it's being fun or something than being a kind of a. It exists maybe to just be fun or funny. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if a lot of people feel that way. I don't think it's a full-on novelty song like a Disco Duck or something. I think it has shades of that to it. Kind of like
shades of Disco Duck,
like shades of novelty, like the future's so bright I gotta wear shades. That kind of song I'd put in the same bucket as this song, maybe.
Got it.
Maybe not the most serious song. Anyway, that's all stalling to give you more time to decide because the favored seed is a 2, which is even, which means you my friend, get to choose who you're voting for first. And
right.
give it to me millionaire style if you want. Actually, if you want, I don't know, I've never done this to you before, but let me give you something here.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see. On the one hand, I just said that I would listen to Breakout 5 days in a row, and I wouldn't do the same thing for the Escape Club's Wild Wild West. But I've also talked about how the Escape Club's Wild Wild West captures that feeling of being a teenager in the late 80s
Yes.
perfectly for me. Okay. I've made up my mind.
Okay, tell me.
Wild Wild West. Final answer.
All right, you won. No, I don't know. Why do I have millionaire sound effects sitting around? I just do. It's part of the weirdness of who I am. All right.
Yeah, but the bigger question is, do you have a Regis impression in your pocket?
Only like the Dana Carvey kind of like, he brings up that Cody thing. You know, when he's always talking about Kathy Lee's kid, Cody.
Got it.
I don't really have one, in other words. How about you?
Hell no.
All right. Wild Wild West. I initially did rank it much higher than I did Breakout. It's so difficult for me, but I think I'm going to split with you and vote Breakout here.
All
the
right.
sound and the synth and the smoothness and the Britishness of it just hit me the right way, I think. And yeah, anyway, there you go. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
Breakout. I can't believe I am voting against Wild Wild West. I thought I was going to vote Wild Wild West all the way through when I put it in here, but
Yep.
here I am just right now voting against it. So what are you going to do? When you hear them next to each other, that changes the game.
And maybe it changed the game for you, listeners. Maybe you came in thinking one thing and are leaving thinking another. If that's the case, or if it's not, please let us know on our Substack. We are the 80sest.substack.com. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for the 80sest Podcast.
That's right. And search any podcast provider for the 80s-est, and you will find us because we are everywhere. And
We'll be there.
That's right. We'll be there. And Spotify especially. If you like those region playlists, we embed them in every post. But you can just go to Spotify, follow them, and listen to all this great 80s music anytime you want. And while you're there, there's a little heart. Just ding. Click that for us.
Tap the heart.
I mean, unless you don't like us, in which case, why are you listening?
Yeah. That means it's weird if you're still listening and you hate us. What's up with that?
Yeah, there's something. It's not your fault.
Don't fuck with me. Not you, Keith.
Oh, man. Well, so check it out, Joe.
Okay.
This is the end of round one. Not only the end of the Foreigners region, but
Without Foreigner. Come on, man.
still without Foreigner. Not only the end
give
of
me a pause, man.
not only the end of that region, but the end of side one.
Wow.
And it's a Wednesday, so I don't want to get started on round two just yet.
No, of course not.
So on Friday, next time on the 80s, we're going to have a very special episode waiting for you.
In the Punky Brewster sense?
That's right. In
Is
exactly
one of
that
us going to
sense.
get trapped in a refrigerator?
In the Tom Hanks on Family Ties sense, yes. Very
Is
special.
one of us going to hit Alex?
So we're going to have a very special episode. Then we're going to start knocking out round two. We're gonna try something new, which you'll find out on Monday.
Okay.
To really kind of plow through the next round. We're gonna less of our bullshit and more of voting for songs and getting through. So we've done a very detailed dive on these songs in round one, and round two we're gonna kind of start the speed rounds, right?
I think there'll probably still be some bullshit.
Oh, I guarantee you there will be bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just maybe less bullshit, I guess.
So we've got round 2 coming up, and during round 2, while we're waiting for voting to happen, we're going to introduce our mini game, Joe.
Ooh.
And
It's
just to
time.
remind...
It's time for some hair metal, Keith.
That's correct, buddy. So we're going to have 16 of your favorite hair metal hits from back in the day, and we're going to plow through those on Fridays if the schedule holds up. So it'll be round 2, hair metal. Round 2, hair metal. And that'll leave ample extra space for voting. And then we'll also plow through those 16. And we're going to finish the hair metal and side B at the same time. It's going to be great.
Wow.
Nothing can possibly go wrong. Anyway, so that is a little bit of a wordy update to just let y'all know what we're doing. So
That's right. It's a roadmap to show you where we're going.
that's right. And if things go well, we will have an 80s side B champion in the not too distant future. It'll be very exciting.
Boy.
So that is all the time we have for today's show. And again, tune in next time on the 80sist for that very special episode that we're teasing you with. Until then, however, on behalf of Joe Wack, this has been Keith Marsteller saying, all right, Sergeant Esther Wack, go ahead and get them ready for their shift.
Okay, quiet down. Quiet down, you animals. So, first order of business, we got an APB out for a really terrible band out there. If you find them, no matter what, you do not take them into custody. They're too dangerous. Shoot on sight.
Hey, Sarge, why go on patrol? If I wanted to hear terrible music, I'd just ride in your squad car.
All right, Renko, settle down. We can't all be hooked on Hank Williams like you. Some of us like tasteful synth and British-sounding vocals. Now, as I was saying, keep your eyes peeled for the Wolfgram family band called the Jets. They're a double threat, people. Because as Latter-day Saints evangelists, they will try to convert you to Mormonism and then kill you with their ruthlessly shitty music, sending you to and trapping you for eternity in their version of heaven.
Hey, Sarge, if we see him, what should we do about it? Call Casey Kasem or something?
Shut the fuck up, Coffee. Just cover your ears and call the station. Belker will come in and take care of him. Easy there, Belker. All right, you guys. Let's roll. Oh, and, let's be careful out there.
Careful? What, Sarge? Like, wear a condom or something?
Jesus Christ, Coffee, you pretty moron. Get the fuck out of here. I'll give you a real case of Hill Street Blues.
Okay, Sarge.
Dispatch, we have a 911. Armed robbery in progress. See surplus store, corner People's Drive, 124th Street.
Joe, were you a Hill Street Blues guy?
In fact, I was. Yeah. There was one guy on there who My cousin and sister and I always thought his hats were super cool. We called those hats the cool guy hats because this one cop always wore them. He was an undercover guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned, you owned that song?
Oh, I had that song on a single. Yeah, that was the kind of groovy guy I was I had the fucking Hill Street Blues soundtrack theme on a single. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, great job as Sergeant Esther Walk. You really captured Esther House perfectly. So, I nailed Coffee, Renko, and Belker.
That's right.
So I wonder if that series holds up. Maybe I should go back and watch an episode. It's been 40 years. So
it's a long time. I mean, it was high class quality television at the time.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, I'll give it a look and I'll let you know if it holds up. Anyway, thanks for doing that, Joe. Have a great night, buddy.
You too. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll see you on the special episode.
Yeah.